guys, my name is Sam. For those who don't know me, I am a peer leader at the CMHA, and today we're back at it at the origami table making an origami pug. So you are going to need some materials for this that you're probably going to be able to find just kind of laying around your house. So let's go through what you'll need, and then you can pause the video and take a look and gather your materials. So for this project, you're going to need something to decorate with. So some pencil crayons, Sharpies, highlighters. We're going to need a pencil sharpener, some tape, and some scissors. So for this project, you are going to need some paper as well. Any paper will do. You can make this work with newspaper, construction paper. If you have some regular origami paper, that's really great. But all I have right now is regular printer paper, so that's what we're going to work with today. The most important part is that we make it a square. So I'm going to quickly show you how to do that now. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the upper right corner and you're going to bring it down to the lower left side. You're going to want to make sure that the left side of the paper is lined up right up until that corner up in the upper left. You're going to make sure that's nice and even and then flatten it really well. Now you're going to take the upper left corner and fold it down to the lower right corner that you've made. And you're going to want to make sure that this is lined up pretty well. Don't worry about it though if it's not perfect. So now this piece at the bottom, we don't want that on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold that back piece onto the back of the triangle. You're going to want to make sure that you crease this really hard, just that way when you unfold the paper, you're going to have the line to guide you when you cut that bottom tail off. So if you have scissors, wonderful, go ahead and just trim that off and then put it aside. You don't need that anymore. But for those of you who don't have scissors at home, don't worry, there isn't a way that you can take this off without tearing the paper. So all you're going to do is you're going to fold the paper up onto itself along that crease line that you made. And you're going to want to crease it really, really hard, whether that be with your fingernails. If you don't have fingernails to do that, you can flatten it out with a pencil crayon, ruler, anything that's flat. So now what we're going to do is we're going to just fold it back on itself again and bring it back forth on itself. You're going to do that about 4 or 5 times, making sure that you crease it every single time really, really well. So once you've done that, go ahead and place your left hand firmly on the paper and gently tear away the strip. So now you should be left with a pretty perfect square. So for this project, if you have blank paper, it's up to you. This is where you can kind of get creative. One side of your paper needs to be brown, and the other side of your paper can be any color that you'd like. So the brown part is going to be the nose part of the dog, and the whatever color you decide for the other side is going to be the color of the dog's fur. So for this part, I am going to pick pink, just to have a pink pug, and I already have a piece of paper that I've already colored, so I'm just going to swap them out now so we can continue with the video. So what we're going to want to do here is make sure that the brown side is facing the ceiling and the colorful side is facing the table. You're also going to want to make sure that the paper is pointed forward, so that way you have more of a diamond than a square. What we're going to do is take the top point of that diamond, we're going to fold it down to the very bottom point to make another triangle. Try your best to line it up and go ahead and flatten the triangle out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the bottom point of that triangle there, and there is 2 layers, so you want to be careful just to grab the top layer, and you're going to fold it up about halfway. A little bit of a tip here is that if you look at the top part above the triangle, it should be equal to the bottom portion that you've just folded up. So now we're going to go ahead and flip the triangle, And we're going to do the same thing on the other side with the remainder at the bottom. Good reference point is using the other side of your sheet just to make sure that they line up. So now we're going to flip it back over. And for this next step, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of mentally divide the paper into 3 parts. What we're going to do is we're going to take one of those 3 parts, so either the right or the left side. In this video we're doing the right side. We're going to fold it in just until it hits the halfway point that you've got left. So the side on the right is going to be equal to what you have left on the left side, and go ahead and flatten that out. Now what you're going to do is you're going to do the exact same thing with the remainder of the other side. Fold it over until it reaches the edge of the right side. So the next step in this project is to fold out the ears. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the part of the triangle on the far right, we're just going to fold it out. So you want to make sure that this part of the pug is kind of up to you on how big you want the ears to be. You just want to make sure that you're not putting them straight out along the top. You want to make sure that they're angled. If you put them straight out, your pug's going to look a little silly. You just want to make sure it's on an angle, so that way it has that natural slope to the ear. Go ahead and do the same to the right triangle. Once again, you don't want to make sure it's flat, you want to make sure it has that little bit of an angle. Try your best to line it up with the other side, but once again, this part is up to you on how big you want the pug's ears to be. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take these little corners above the ear and we're just going to fold them in to lock the ear in place. It is okay if it doesn't stay down. That's where we can use the tape to hold them into place. If you don't have tape, don't worry about it though, it will hold. I just like to use tape for the backs, that way when I hang them up on my wall, they lay a little bit flatter. So now we're moving down to the lower left and lower right, and all we're doing is we're folding those in to kind of round out the head. I like to kind of angle it and align it with my ear. Going to do the same for the lower left. Now we're going to take the tape, and like I said, just because I have some and it's readily available for me, I'm just going to tape all of it down nice and flat, so that way I can hang it up on the wall without worrying about it popping off or anything like that. So now that all of that's taped down flat, we can work on the ears. So this is where you can decide if you want to leave the ears pointy. I prefer mine to not have the point, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the point and fold it in a little bit. And once again, I'm just going to tape them down so it can lay a little bit flatter on the wall. Now what we're we're going to do is we're going to flip the pug over. And now, as you can see, my ears didn't turn out exactly equal, but that's okay because dogs are not always perfect, but we still love them anyways. So the brown portion of your paper, it is a little difficult to see on the origami video here, but the mouth part is brown and the pug is pink. So all you're going to do now is just go ahead and draw the eyes, draw the face, and decorate it a little bit. So I am just going to speed up the video a little bit here. If you want to take a quick pause and copy what the face looks like on the top pug, you are definitely welcome to do that. I'm just going to speed up the video and I will be back with a more finished product. So just to finish off my pug here, I am giving it some blue eyes. This is definitely something you can change up, you know, green eyes, purple eyes, whatever you feel like you want to draw in there. But that's it. Super, super simple, guys. That's how you make a pug. Please tune in next time for our next origami video. I guess the final question to ask is it dog approved? I think that's a yes.